Hello, I'm Jocelyn Greenky. I'm back, and the goal of these podcasts, of this video, is the fact that we are really focusing on the terminology that is used industry by industry for those who are either entering, re-entering, starting out, whatever it is, and we have to have experts in each one of those fields who are going to explain it to us. So you sound intelligent when you're either talking to somebody who you want to get into the business, or you're there and you're actually using the proper terminology to get that job or to stay in that job. I know for myself, I would have saved myself a lot of time, effort, and angst if I had known a lot of this up front. And there's really no one place other than formal business books to educate people. So I'm with Jane Hanson, who is 30 years in the TV business and spent 30 years at NBC New York and now has her own consulting firm. And she is going to give us some brief overviews of what some of these terms are. Welcome, Jane.
Thank you very much. And obviously lots of people are doing video these days. So if you're in a studio or you're hiring, teams to come and help you, even if you're doing it on your own, you may want to be familiar with some of these terms.
Exactly. So I really wanted to focus on this segment on the people behind the scene, if you will. So, and I even see some of these terms on movies. So that's why some of the terms are used both in television and then in film. So what is, for example, dolly? What is that?
It's a camera move, and we will say dolly left, dolly right. It really literally means that the camera's going to move one way or the other. I don't know where the dolly came from, except I think maybe originally might have been on something that they call the dolly.
Right.
Don't movers use dollies?
Yeah.
So
do they? Is that a term in dance?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Could be.
Okay, grip.
A grip is a person who literally, a big, strong person who carries a lot of the gear. Because there's, depending upon the size of the production, you can have, cameras can be heavy. In some instances, sometimes you've got a lot of other gear, sometimes you've got lights. A grip is a person who really carries a lot of the gear and helps you out so that you can get where you need to go. And get.
Is that a full-time job, or is that like an internship?
It's usually a full-time job. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he's called or she's called to carry something from one spot to the next in production?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Do they do anything else?
Well, I mean, it really depends. It depends on the studio. It depends on, sometimes if it's a unionized studio, there are certain roles that they can and cannot do. But they're really essential because sometimes gear has to be moved very quickly. Sometimes you have to,
right.
Sometimes it's just, it's heavy, and there's just a lot of movement that is involved.
Okay, jib.
A jib it's a camera movement. Again, usually, I'm using my hand here, usually a camera that's way up high and it's moved by people.
I've seen that, yeah.
Yeah, and for example, Saturday Night Live uses a lot of them, and you will actually see a human being that is on one side and the jib is on the other. And sometimes the jib can be involved in a balancing act, kind of like a teeter-totter. So, but they're wonderful because they can really give you movement in a, in a video, movement in whatever you're producing that will really help.
Do you go to jib school? Like, do you have to go to school to be trained for these things?
Well, I think if you're a good videographer, you will learn how to do them, and it's all kind of trial and error. I believe at photography and videography schools, yes, you can indeed learn how to use them.
Okay.
They're highly specialized.
Right, I'm sure. And what about a boom?
A boom is a boom mic. And they use these a lot in the movies because you don't really usually see people that have a microphone attached to them in some way like you do in a news organization. Mm-hmm. So a boom mic it's literally a long mic that's usually way over the top of your heads, and it moves around and gets the action, and they are extremely sensitive and they pick up sound really well.
Okay. So you really have to, when you're on camera, I know that you're not supposed to wear any kind of bracelets. Because then you can hear the boom would pick
you
up.
Can wear bracelets. The one I have on today doesn't make any sense.
Oh, okay, right. Just anything that's made out of metal.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, these sound guys, they don't care if you've got your grandmother's most favorite pair of earrings on. If they're jingling, they're going to say, you got to take those things off.
Right.
So.
Understood. All right, well, thank you. And all of this is like great information. And I know it's really relevant today because everyone's trying to get either in front of the camera or producing stuff behind, and is then, delivered on so many different platforms that it's really important to know most of these things.
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
Anyway. All right, we'll be back. Thank
right.
you.
Bye.
Bye.